Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we are going to do our third lesson, which is attached pronouns الضمائر المتصلة, meaning attached pronouns. These are the pronouns where you will only see them attached to other words. They will mostly be attached to the back. Yeah, these are the ones that are attached to the back of the words. Now, the thing with these pronouns are it is actually very difficult to mix them up, but don't worry, we will get the hang of it. Now, if you have any questions, like I've always said, do please write them in the comments and like and share the video so that the algorithm recommends it to more people. Now, these pronouns can be attached to either nouns, verbs, or particles. We have the third person masculine pronouns, which for singular it's who. It's just like a small little circle with a dhamma on top. And for the dual form, we have huma, and for plural, we have hum. This is third person masculine. Now, third person feminine. Now, singular for third person feminine is ha, and this one is the ha with an alif. And the third person dual feminine is huma, and the third person plural feminine is hunna. Now, as we can see, the dual for the masculine and feminine third person forms are the same. But do not worry, this is something you need to infer from context. Now we have the second person masculine. For singular, it's a ka. For dual is kuma. And for plural is kum. Now second person feminine. Singular is ki. Dual is kuma. And plural is kunna. Okay. Now for first person, which is both masculine and feminine, forms are the same here. For singular, which is I or me, which is ya, or alif maqsura. Sometimes you might see this, but it's not that often. Now, for dual and plural, first person is us or we or ours, so we have na. Now as you can see, the third person masculine and feminine pronouns begin with a ha. Dual pronouns end with a ma. You can see right here, except for the first person. Now, plural second and third person feminine pronouns end with the na. Here and here. Now, this is where you have to pay attention to the strokes at the top and the bottom of the letters, because the way to differentiate between the second person masculine and feminine pronouns is the strokes. For masculine, we have a ka, which is a fatha on top, and for feminine, you have ki, which is a stroke at the bottom. Now here, now in this page 19 here, we just looked at what the pronouns are. Now we will look at some examples of the pronouns attached to nouns. Because if it's attached to verbs, it's completely different. Now for third person masculine, we take a noun, for example, kitab, which means a book, and we attach it with the singular third person masculine pronoun, attached pronoun, and we have kitabuhu. And for dual, we have kitabuhuma. And for plural, we have kitabuhum. For third person feminine, we have kitabuha. For dual, we have kitabuhuma. And for plural, we have kitabuhun. For second person masculine, we have kitabuka, your book. Kitabukuma, your book. But this is for two people. For two men, if you're talking to two men or two boys, then you say kitabukuma. Or for plural, we will say kitabukum. This is specifically for second person masculine. For second person feminine, we have kitabuki, kitabukuma, kitabukun. And for the final one, first person masculine and feminine, this one there is no difference. There is no gender when it comes to first person form, either masculine or feminine, because it depends on whoever is actually talking. Now, we have kitabi, singular, that's us, sorry, that's me, singular form. Kitabuna for dual form, and kitabuna for plural form, but this is something we need to infer from context, which we'll go into sometime later. Now, when we talk about pronouns and nouns, the first thing, this is specifically for attached pronouns. Now, the first thing is when we want to understand what the pronouns and nouns are, as in what do they mean, the first thing we have to look at is the noun. Like here we see kitabu, which means book. That's why you translate first. Sorry. Now, when you want to translate, you want to find out what these words mean. What you need to look at is the pronoun, because the pronoun will tell you like half the things that are actually going on here. Like how we see here in kitabi, the ya here is actually it's like a suffix. That's how you can understand it. The kitabi, the e, the ya here is mine, mine or my, singular first person form, and the kitabu, which means book, so my book. And yes, in the Quran, you might actually find that sometimes you will see the ya has a fatha on top, even though generally it's with a sukoon. But usually there's a sukoon on top. But there are reasons as to why there's a fatha on top. But we'll go into that some other day, inshallah. Now, the last letter of the noun that is attached to the pronoun for ya specifically, it is changed to a kasra instead of a fatha. You don't have kitabai, but you have kitabi. Even though here we see kitabuhu, right? The ba actually ends with a dhamma. But when it comes to me, you add a ya at the back, then the ba, the stroke on top of the ba from dhamma changes to kasra. Yeah, that's all for today. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Now don't forget to like, share and subscribe and drop a comment. If you don't understand something, we will try and clarify it next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.